As appropriate, Xavier University honors distinguished individuals and awards them honorary degrees. In the spirit of recognizing such an accomplished person, Barbara Howard will now present today's degree recipient.
I invite Father James Martin of the Society of Jesus to please come forward. The Reverend James Martin, S.J., is editor-at-large of America Magazine, prolific author and outspoken advocate for Catholic dialogue on multiple topics, including marginalized communities. He has written numerous books and has been featured in various national and international publications on the subject of religion and spirituality. Most recently, he appeared on the History Channel series, Jesus, His Life. His book, Jesus, A Pilgrimage, was a New York Times bestseller. In 2017, he was appointed by Pope Francis as consultor to the Vatican's Dicastery for Communication and was invited by the Vatican to speak at the World Meeting of Families. For his commitment to improving the human condition through his writings, his contributions to the Society of Jesus, and for exemplifying the values and mission of Xavier University, Xavier is proud to present the Doctor of Humanities honoris causa to Father James Martin, S.J.
First of all, thanks to Father Graham and the Board of Trustees for this great honor. By tradition, I am now officially a member of the class of 2019. So to my fellow graduates and fellow Musketeers, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you at our 50th reunion when you will be a spry 71 and I will be 108. So please be nice to me and speak up when you see me. I am especially honored to be part of a school that has embraced its Jesuit identity so fully. Now, graduates all know what the student commitment is, which is posted around campus and which they heard about from their first day here. But maybe your friends and family don't. So here is the student commitment, quote, "We are Xavier Musketeers. We are unique individuals who come together in the spirit of St. Ignatius to learn together, to serve together, and we will succeed in changing the world together. We will act with integrity, justice, and generosity, all for one and one for all," end quote. I don't think I've ever seen a more concise description of what it means to be a Jesuit student or a man or woman for others. Along with that comes the recognition that all students here at Xavier, rich or poor, young or old, black, brown or white, straight or LGBT, are beloved children of God. More importantly, this commitment has been beautifully lived out by you through study, through caring for one another on campus, and especially in service like the Alternative Break program. Together for others indeed. I'm so impressed by the values of your school, by our school, and how you live them out. And I hear you do pretty well in basketball, too. So I'm really proud to be among you today and being able to participate in a small way in this great heritage and on this great day. But I don't want to get too proud. You know, Jesuits aren't supposed to be too proud. You know the story of the Jesuit, Franciscan, and Dominican priest who are on their way to Xavier for a basketball game, and they get into this big argument about what religious order is the best, and they swerve and hit a telephone pole and die. So, you know, they're kind of bummed out because, you know, they're dead. But they're excited to be in heaven. They made it to heaven. And after they greet St. Peter, they're ushered into God's big throne room, which you've learned in theology, God has a big throne room. And God says to the Franciscan from his great golden throne, "Son of St. Francis, what do you believe?" And the Franciscan says, "I believe in a life of poverty, which is how I tried to serve you." And God says, "Very good, welcome to heaven." And then God says to the Dominican, "Son of St. Dominic, what do you believe?" And the Dominican says, "I believe in a life of scholarship, which is how I tried to serve you." And God says, "Very good, welcome to heaven." And from his great golden throne, God looks down at the Jesuit and says, "Son of St. Ignatius Loyola, what do you believe?" And the Jesuit looks up and says, "I believe you're in my seat." And, you know, that's a true story. So I don't want to be too proud. Now, I have some good news for you, my fellow graduates. I am going to be brief today. So let me just give you, by way of parting advice, 6 things I wish I'd known at your age. If you put them into action, I think you'll be a lot happier. The first one is 3 things that kind of go together. You ready? You're not God. This isn't heaven. Don't be a jerk. I kind of cleaned up that last one. So, look, first of all, you're not God. So stop trying to fix everything, do everything, and make everyone else's life and your life perfect. You can't do it. Why? Because, look, even if you didn't take one theology course, go on one retreat, or once step foot in Bellarmine Chapel in the last 4 years, you should have learned this lesson. You are not God. So stop acting as if you were God. As the saying goes, there's good news and there's better news. The good news is that there is a Messiah. The better news is it's not you. Second part, this isn't heaven. Try not to expect life to be perfect. Once you realize that, you'll be able to enjoy life more. You'll be able to be more grateful. And you'll complain less, which means you won't annoy your friends and family as much. Finally, most importantly, don't be a jerk. Look, you might be sick, you lost your cell phone, your laptop broke, your boyfriend or girlfriend just dumped you, your car broke down, your first job after Xavier isn't working out exactly as you thought it would. Okay, you can be sad, disappointed, or angry. You can share your struggles with your friends, but you don't have to pass on your anger. Just because you're upset doesn't mean you have to act like a jerk. 2, your deepest desires are God's desires for you. Speaking through your desires, what moves you, what attracts you, what interests you in your life, is God's main way of calling you. So don't pay too much attention to people, and you will meet them, who tell you that it's all about money or success or impressing people. That's a dead end. The better path is the one that encourages you to listen where God is speaking to you through your heart. 3rd, you can be your best self. Look, God has already made you a wonderful creation, each of you sitting there. But God's not done with you. How do we know that? Because I bet that you have an idea of the person you would like to become one day. Maybe freer, kinder, more loving, more generous. That's another call from God, to become the person that you are meant to become, to constantly grow and change and develop into your best self. To make good decisions, just ask yourself, what would the person I want to become do? All right? If you make that commitment, that alumni commitment, soon you will find that you have become that person. 4, you can't force people to approve of you, agree with you, be impressed with you, love you, or even like you. So stop trying. I spent most of my 20s trying to get everyone to like me. But no matter what you do, some people will approve of you, others won't. No matter how nice you are, some people will like you, others just won't. I mean, everyone didn't like Jesus, and he was a pretty nice guy. So just relax and accept the fact that some people will like you and others won't. It will save you a ton of heartache. 5, be yourself. Sometimes we think, well, if only I were like him or her. We end up spending all of our time comparing ourselves to one another. But here's the problem. We compare what we know as our life of good and bad, which we know firsthand, with someone else's life, but we usually only focus on the good stuff in their life. So our life always loses out. Stop comparing your real life with their life on Instagram. Besides, you're meant to be yourself. You're a beautiful creation of God, a unique individual, as the student commitment says. Being holy means you. Being holy means being who you are, not someone else. Man or woman, rich or young, rich or poor, young or old, short or tall, gay, straight, lesbian, transgender, or straight, you're all beautiful. Remember, as St. Francis Xavier said, God doesn't make crap. Or as he should have said. He said it in Spanish, actually. Number 6, finally, maybe the most important thing you can hear, be kind. Even with a Xavier College degree, a good job, and maybe some success in life, if you're not kind, what's the point, right? What's the point? No matter what religious tradition you're from, even if you are from no religious tradition, 99% of the ethical life is being kind to people. From the homeless person on the street who may be easy to be kind to the refugee or migrant who others tell you not to be kind to your family or people at your workplace who might test your kindness most of all. Even if you feel that you have nothing to give, you can give someone the gift of kindness. You can always be a person for others by simply being kind. My fellow Xavier graduates, I can't give you money since I'm a Jesuit, and as you know, we take a vow of poverty. I can't give you any more advice since Father Graham asked me to be brief, and Jesuits take a vow of obedience, and I certainly can't give you a kiss since Jesuits take a vow of chastity. But I can give you those few pieces of advice, and I guarantee that if you remember only one of them, it will help you to be happier. Because you deserve to be happy. Why? Not only because you are all beautiful children of God, but because today, on top of that, you are really something special. Xavier grads. Thank you, and as Jesus Christ said, go X.